Hello everybody, welcome to Gregsbeerreviews today. Time to take that walk and go see what's in the fridge today. Hello everybody, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. Hopefully this is going to be a good treat. This is Hoppin Brewery. This is their barrel age Outta Kilter, which is a barrel age wee heavy or Scotch ale. I do like these occasionally. I don't drink them very often, but it's a nice change up from the typical IPAs and stouts and porters that I do drink. But being a barrel aged version, I said, ooh. I don't think I've had the regular version of this, but I seen this one. I said, "Oh, this is probably going to be pretty tasty." I'm a sucker for these barrel aged beers, guys. I really am. No matter what style it is, you can put Kool-Aid in a barrel in bourbon barrels, and I'd probably like it. So we'll see what this one brings to the table. So let's get on. Let's get it on here. 8.2%, I think it says here. Yep, 23 IBUs. The commercial description is exactly the same thing as written on the side of the label here. The rich and malty character of our Outta Kilter Scotch sour red ale is masterfully complemented by barrel aging as the angel share slowly evaporates, resulting in a wonderful concentrating of flavors. The full flavor experience goes one step further with the vanilla undertones from the oak wood of the barrel, adding a savory, satisfying depth of flavor, ultimately creating a wonderful sensory experience. And I don't see any kind of dating on the label here. There may be something on the bottle. I went to the fresh beer site, and it doesn't have Hoppin Frog listed there for where they date their stuff. So it's sweating profusely, as they always do when I get them out of the fridge this time of the year. And we'll take a closer look at the bottle, see if there's anything stamped or written on the bottle somewhere. I'm not really sure whether they date their stuff. I can't remember. So we'll see. So with that being said, I've read your commercial description, so let's go over to the food pairings for the Scotch Ale Wee Heavies. It says here, the cheeses are buttery brie gouda Havarti Swiss. The meat is smoked meat and salmon. Glass bar pint Bacchanalic tumbler snifter or tulip. I got my favorite glass, the Solvin beer glass, and according to this, being barrel aged and being 8.2%, I can't think of anything that would deter you from being able to sell this for 3-5 years, or maybe even a little longer on this. So hopefully we'll be able to see a date somewhere on it, so we'll know what year or vintage it is. Don't think we need a month or the day, but we'd like to see a year on these styles, so we'll know exactly when it was put in the bottle, so you'll know how long you can sell it. You wouldn't want to sell this one for 20 years, being an 8.2%, I wouldn't think, but we'll take a look. We'll see. Alright, that's it for all of that, so there's nothing else we need to talk about, so we're going to stop talking and start pouring. Just a plain Jane brown cap on this. Get a little bit down the center, see if we can generate any head on this. This is a bomber, it's a 22 ouncer, enough to share. Good finger of head on that pour. Very good looking beer in the glass. Very red in color. Nice ruby red color. A lot of bubbles trimming up. I can just barely see the light coming through the big part of the bulb here, guys. Down through the bottom, I can see the bulb right through it, but through the thicker part of the glass, it's letting a little bit of light through, but I cannot see the bulb through there. So, got a little bit of a cloudy haze to it. Good looking beer though, very nice wee heavy looking beer. A lot of these red ales or wee heavies, they have a nice garnet red ruby color to them. So let's get a nose on it. Just a hint of the, I think they use whiskey barrels on this, it says. Ale aged in whiskey barrels. So, just slight hints of some vanilla from the oak barrels there. Nice toffee caramel aromas. Maybe just a slight hint of some dark fruits in there. A nice sweet smell. Only 23 IBUs, so it's not going to be very bitter. Should be very easy drinking. Probably very sweet on the back end, similar to a barley wine. Very wonderful aroma. Smells pretty good. I like that toffee caramel smell that I get from this style of beer. Doesn't smell very boozy for an 8.2%er. A lot of times when they put them in these whiskey barrels, that aroma just overpowers everything, and it's not on this beer. Just slight hints of the bourbon or the whiskey barrels. I mean, the vanilla is there, and just a slight hint of the alcohol. Not much. Well, it's that time. Let's get it on. Cheers, everybody. Much more whiskey barrel-esque flavors on the taste than the nose. Definitely getting the whiskey on the taste. The vanilla is more prominent in the taste. Hint of some smokiness in there. Just as I told you on the nose, the taste has got a nice sweetness to it. Not overly sweet, but there is some nice sweetness there. 23 IBUs, it's not bitter. Just enough bittering hops to make this not super sweet. Very tasty. Very, very tasty. Very nice addition for a Scotch red ale / whiskey wee heavy beer. So it's like Boris has brought a nice representation of a whiskey barrel aged Scotch ale or wee heavy, if you will. Very tasty. Very nice. Well, let's run out of the fridge. Let me pour another half a glass of this, and we'll sip on this for 35-40 minutes or so and see what we end up with. Stick around. I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. Been sipping on it for a while now. Very tasty. Looked at the bottle. There is no dating on it anywhere. We'd like to see a year on this style of beer, so we'll know what vintage it is. It's probably going to cost them a grade point, even though it's a very, very tasty beer. As far as I'm concerned, guys, it's a 9 beer in an 8 bottle. So nice toffee caramel notes, hint of some dark fruit in there. Not a lot, but just there slight hints of it in there, and very sweet. Not overly sweet, but very nice. I'm getting a slight hint of some smokiness in there. Definitely getting the whiskey from the oak barrels that they aged this in. Little hints of vanilla. Very nice. Very tasty. Exactly what it says it is on the label. Final chug. The whiskey is not overpowering. A lot of times they put these in the barrels, the bourbon or the whiskey, and whiskey is a type of bourbon, could be overpowering. So evidently, to me, it's not like a fresh whiskey barrel. They may have had beer aging in it before, and as they reuse those barrels over and over, it gets less and less of the whiskey in the taste. But it's there. It's there. It's just not overpowering like a lot of the fresh barrels are. Very nice. Very nice. I enjoyed this. I definitely think it's an A beer, guys. If it had a vintage on it, I'd give it to 9. But since it does not, we're going to give it to 8, which is an A-. Over to Beer Advocate, they say 88 in a very good category. I wouldn't argue with that. There are probably some wee heavies that'll barrel aged that are just a tad tastier than this, but it was very impressive to me. Like I said, if it had a vintage on it somewhere, I'd give it to 9. So, and over to Rate Beer. Rate Beer says 96 overall and 96 in the style. So good numbers from those guys. If I was putting a numeric rating on it, since I don't have the vintage on the bottle, I would say it's probably a 92 or a 93. That's where I would put it. So we're pretty close there. You average all these. You average a 96 and the 88, and you're going to get somewhere between a 91 and a 92. So pretty tasty. Definitely worth picking up if you're into the barrel aged versions of the Scotch, Wee Heavy, or Red Ales. It was nice. It was tasty. Glad I picked it up. I would buy this again. It is very tasty. I would like to see them step up to the plate and date their bottles as far as the vintage. I would like to see a year on this. Don't need the month, don't need the day, but I would like to see a vintage. This was done in 2013, 14, or 15, or whatever. So we're going to leave it at that, guys. If you've had this one from Hoppin Frog, their barrel aged Outta Kilter, which is a Scotch Wee Heavy, or Scotch Red Ale / Wee Heavy. There's a whole lot of beers that fit into that category. Several beers, not a lot, but several beers that fit in that category. It was tasty. I am getting what they described on the bottle. Just want to see them put up year on it, so we'll know what vintage it is, guys. So if you've had this one from Hoppin Frog with barrel aged Outta Kilter, let me know what you think, guys, and come on back tomorrow. Let's go see what's in the fridge. See you then.